camp. Tenia ganes. Què fem? Preguntes, no?
Sí. Okay, so I know that you guys have read the title, but I want to speak about something first before we talk about Fermin Lopez. And I want to give you guys good news, right? Good news because I want you guys to feel great on this Friday. It is Friday. It is the last 2 days of this week. And I want you guys to just end this week on a good note. So I'm going to be explaining what has been going on at the city of Barcelona over the past 12 hours. And once again, it's good news. We are now returning to the Spotify Camp Nou. There were fans, there were players training inside the brand new stadium, and it is expected for Barcelona to come back and play in that new stadium in about 3 weeks and after the international break. Let me add even more good news on top of this. Jong Garcia has also returned to the group training sessions. So Jong Garcia is expected to be featuring in our squad list very soon. I don't know if it's going to be in the next match against Celta, but for sure after Celta, Jong Garcia will be there. And I know that a lot of you guys have been wanting to see Jong Garcia return because, bro, like, oh my god, dude, like the past 5-6 matches with Szczesny. I know that Szczesny was considered a legend by us last season, but this season, dude, like it made us rethink about having Szczesny for another season. Like this guy has been so bad in the past 5 games that we just want to see him finish his contract and nothing more. Like we have to just revolve our goalkeeper options between Jong Garcia and Ter Stegen. But with Szczesny, dude, like this guy cannot block a single damn thing. I mean, like, yes, we have seen him block some shots, but all in all, like, this guy has not given us any clean sheets. He has not blocked the most definitive goals against us. And so we want to see Jong Garcia back. We want to see a back line that can rely on their goalkeeper, right? A goalkeeper that can receive the ball and pass the ball back with elegancy, with a lot of conviction, somebody who can get the pressure from the opposition and still pass well, right? Jong Garcia is that goalkeeper. So the fact that he has returned is good news. The fact that we're going to be returning to the Spotify Camp Nou is good news. This is not the end, guys. Barcelona will be back to its full glory, and I believe that it will be happening in this season. We just have to give it some time. So I want to read you guys some of the things that Joan Laporta said during that whole, I will call it a ceremony. I know that the players did train there, but it's a whole ceremony. It's a celebration for everybody. But this is what Joan Laporta had to say. We can host matches at the Spotify Camp Nou right now with 26,000 fans, but we're waiting for the phase 1B permit, which would allow us to welcome 45,000 spectators, not 26,000 fans. That's the number we want for the first game here. This means we'll complete the remaining work on the north stand. We're really excited as we're doing everything necessary to get the phase 1B approval to open the stands to 45,000 fans. Once again, right now they can do 26,000, but they want to have 45,000. They want to have a bigger grand opening. And then Joan Laporta also spoke about a tribute to Messi, which was very surprising because I feel like when we look at Messi, we look at Joan Laporta, we always say they know about each other, obviously, but I don't necessarily believe that they have the best relationship because I feel like Messi in some ways still feels that anger towards Joan Laporta because Messi believed that he was going to continue at Barcelona 4 to 5 years ago, but only for him to go to PSG. And I know that, you know, Messi was probably like, you know, you lied to me, like you lied to the fans and you lied to me, and now I'm over here playing at PSG and I did not even enjoy my time at PSG. Something that he also talked about in an interview. He said that it was very tough for him to adapt his lifestyle at Paris, and so that is why maybe that could be the reason why he still feels frustrated with Joan Laporta, because in some way, yes, he did lie, but Joan Laporta did say that, of course, I'd love to do that, right? Having a tribute to Messi. It would be a beautiful way to show gratitude and recognition. And he wants to do it when they do reach 100,000 people. Like they want to have that type of capacity. They want 100,000 people to show up at the Spotify Camp Nou to do that Messi tribute. He does not want to do a Messi tribute when there's only 26,000 fans or like 45,000 fans. Like, are you kidding me? I have more subscribers than that. Like, you obviously need to have 100,000 plus people in a Messi tribute because Messi has given us a lot in the past 15 to 20 years. So he said, he also became very self-aware, which is very interesting. He said, but it probably won't happen before the end of 2026, meaning that most likely it will happen between November to December of 2026. And he stated like he does not even know if he's going to be the president by that time. He just doesn't know because he might lose the elections in March 2026. We just don't know. We never know. And Jong Laporta wants us to know that too. Like he's like, I don't know if I'm going to be the president by that time, but if I am, I would love to lead the tribute to Messi. So wonderful things, right? And like I've said, for us to return back to the stadium is going to be either against Athletic Club on November 22nd or against Alaves on November 29th. So can't wait, bro. I cannot wait to see the noise, the people chanting the Barcelona anthem with like 46,000 people. I know that might not seem a lot, but these fans, they're loud. And when they're loud, they're like really loud. Go hear how the training session sounded in those clips on Twitter or like on YouTube. Like they were loud and they were very much excited. They even broke some VIP seats because they wanted to stand on the VIP seats. And like on the first day they've already broken some stuff in the stadium, and now Jong Laporta has to spend money out of his pocket to like re-innovate those things and restructure those things to make sure that those seats can be sturdy and right. But I think that we're gonna be okay. So let's talk about Fermin Lopez, right? I wanted to take the time to really give Fermin Lopez that type of recognition because nobody talks about Fermin Lopez. Nobody. You're not going to hear ESPN. You're not going to hear AS or Mundo or Sport or any of these news outlets anywhere in the world of football speak about Fermin Lopez like the way that we do here. The reason why is because Fermin Lopez does not have great PR. If Bellingham scores a goal with his ball sack, people will talk about that for the next 3 weeks. But if Fermin Lopez scores a hat trick, provides 2 assists in 1 game, it gets recognition for like a day, and then they forever like never talk about it again. I swear to God, bro, Fermin Lopez has no PR, but here he has the best PR, right? Because of you, because of me, Fermin Lopez will have his name being thrown out there in the world of football, and they will hear about Fermin. And I think that in time, as long as Fermin Lopez continues to be consistent, they will finally recognize as Fermin Lopez as one of the best midfielders in the world. I think that FIFA Pro or whatever you want to call that title, like they named like 15 attacking midfielders or 15 midfielders that were considered as the best in the final rankings, and Fermin Lopez was not there. Pedri was there, and Frankie was there, but Fermin Lopez wasn't there. Really strange, right? But all in all, right, Fermin Lopez in this season has had 6 goals, 4 assists. That is 10 goal contributions in 10 matches. That is a phenomenal start to this season. And I think that he's only going to get better from here. Like, what other attacking midfielder has close to these numbers? I'm pretty sure they can name like 2 or 3, but like, bro, that's like 2 or 3. And there's like 9,000 players out there in football, or like like in Europe. Like there's more than 9,000. There's a lot. And Fermin Lopez is like in the top 10 to me. I don't know why nobody's talking about Fermin Lopez. It's insane to me. And this is not, and a lot of you guys might say, and you guys probably watched Barcelona for the first time this year, or you guys are probably not Barcelona fans at all, and you guys are just like City fans or United fans, or you guys are listening about Fermin Lopez for the first time today. This is not the first time Fermin Lopez is doing this, right? Fermin Lopez in the 2023-2024 season under Xavi Hernandez played 42 matches and scored 11 goals in 42 matches. And then he even upgraded from there. In the next season, which was in Hansi Flick's first full season, 2024-2025, he played 46 games, which was like, what, like 4 games more than the first one? And he scored 8 goals and provided 9 assists. Very consistent. Very consistent. And then you want to tell me that in the next season, which is the season right now, he has 10 goal contributions, damn near breaking almost the first and second season at Barcelona. It's insane, and that's only 10 matches in. Can you imagine giving him an extra 20? At this rate, he'll have 20 goal contributions. 20. And like on average, attacking midfielders like Fermin Lopez who play in this consistent way, they're gonna average maybe 36, 40 games for the season, kind of like how he has been playing in the past 2 seasons for FC Barcelona. And I think that, you know, once again, at this rate, he'll have 35 to 40 goal contributions. So yes, Fermin Lopez is that good. He has to be talked about more, bro. Like I don't know what's going on, and it's pissing me off now that I'm talking about this more and more. But another thing that I want to talk about, right, is why does Fermin Lopez fit so well under Hansi Flick's Barcelona? Like why? Like why is it such a great matchup? Because I can guarantee you guys one thing: if Fermin Lopez played at Guardiola's City or Arteta's Arsenal or maybe even Klopp's Liverpool or name any other team, I think that Fermin Lopez would have never made it. Like, yes, he probably would have scored a couple of goals here and there. Like, it's like, oh yeah, that's great, that whatever. But like, there's always going to be that one player that's going to go over Fermin Lopez and never see the field again. Here at Barcelona, though, under Flick's system, it is safe to say that Fermin Lopez does very well in this system, and it's very hard for him to go on the bench now. It's really hard. Like, how much more does Fermin Lopez need to do for us to really just start to say that maybe this guy is going to be our future 10? Maybe we were just so sidetracked and saying that, oh, it's going to be Olmo, is it going to be Rafinha, is it going to be Yamal, is it going to be Gavi? Maybe it is Fermin Lopez, because over the past like 2 years, we have been saying that Fermin Lopez, yeah, second choice. He's second choice attacking number 10, second choice left winger, second choice right winger. But I feel like, bro, like if Fermin continues going down this path, like we have to say at one point that maybe he is just our future 10. Maybe this is it. Maybe for the next 5 or 8 years, it is Fermin, it is Yamal, and it is Rafinha on the left. It could be that. Maybe this is it. And you know, Hansi Flick's tactical blueprint, right? And then I wrote it down here. The way that he likes to revolve his system is around three things. It is through the high intensity pressing, vertical transitions, we talked about that multiple times, and the dynamic midfield play, right? So the midfielders have to be dynamic. They have to be able to move to different areas on the pitch and able to combine with other players. Look for those key passes, look for those through passes. Fermin is exactly that. And you need to also have like certain qualities in your game to succeed as an attacking midfielder, like kind of like Mueller did, or Kimmich, or any of those players that Hansi Flick did coach at Bayern like about 4 or 5 years ago. You need to have relentless energy, defensive aggression. You need to have that ability to make those forward runs into the box. All of that is Fermin Lopez. And Fermin Lopez has great high pressing and defensive contributions. We talked about it here before. I think that, you know, having 4.44 ball recoveries per 90, 2.78 tackles per 90, 0.56 interceptions per 90, it's one of the best. It's one of the best, and it makes Barcelona win. It makes Barcelona have that spirit. You know, Fermin is not the only one that can contribute in this way. It is also Rafinha. It is also Gavi, and that's why I say the more we have Gavi and Rafinha and Fermin in this team and play consistently, the better Barcelona is going to do, because Flick needs those type of players. And that's why I also say I cannot wait for these players to return, because who knows what this team is going to look like. Can I imagine a starting 11 where Gavi, Rafinha, and Fermin could play? And I say yes, it could, because, you know, I think that Gavi can play as a 10. He can be an alternative. He can switch with Fermin Lopez, you know, between Yamal and Rafinha. But Gavi can also play as a number 6. And even Hansi Flick stated that, you know, I do see Gavi as a 6. So, Gavi is somebody who can play deep into the midfield and really progress play, because he's very aggressive and vertical. And if you can have a midfield of Pedri, Gavi, and Fermin Lopez as a number 10, you can do a lot of good things. And with Rafinha on the left, that is a winning team right there. And a team, a starting 11 that I would love to see face Real Madrid. I really punk Bellingham, really punk Valverde. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I want all of that. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, Fermin Lopez is doing phenomenal. He provided 2 assists against Club Brugge. Yeah, 2 assists against Club Brugge. And I want to say here, and I want to make it very clear, that once Gavi does return, which will be very soon, maybe in the next 5-6 weeks. No, actually, as a matter of fact, scratch that. I was thinking about Pedri. Gavi does return next year around February or like March. But I want to revolve my number 10 options to Gavi and Fermin. I want to do that. I don't want to think about anybody else. You may say, but Kevin, you don't think that having only 2 attacking midfielders, having just 2 options in there is not too, like, it's too thin? You know, because like Gavi is injured right now, and Fermin Lopez is the only option. Like, why would you just say that you want only Gavi and Fermin? I say that because, first of all, the older Gavi and Fermin get, the more they're going to understand their bodies. They are. That is just how it is. The younger you are, you don't understand your body. You don't know your limitations. And I think that once Gavi and Fermin pass the age of 24, 25 years old, they're going to be okay. They're not going to be as injury prone, and they're going to be okay. The reason why I'm talking about that is because I think that a player like Dani Olmo should leave. I don't want to see Dani Olmo in this team anymore, because Dani Olmo, even though he's great football-wise, and I believe that, yes, he could actually fit at a team like Guardiola's City or Arteta's Arsenal, I don't think that he can fit under Flick's Barca. I just don't. Like, I know that he can still provide goals and assists. He probably will in the next game. But all in all, we need aggressive, vertical, one-touch type of players, and Dani Olmo is not that. He's just not. And I know that it might be a little strange for me to say that Dani Olmo should leave after only 2 seasons, so assuming that he leaves in the summer of 2026. But bro, this is not the first time we have seen Barcelona let go of certain players after only 2 seasons. First of all, we can even talk about Ibrahimovic. Ibrahimovic left after 1 season, but let's talk about 2 seasons, right? Arthur Melo left, right, after 2 seasons at Barcelona, and he left in 2020. right? Arturo Vidal. I don't know if you guys remember Arturo Vidal. He came to Barcelona and left in 2020. Junior Firpo came to Barcelona and left in 2021. Marcos Alonso, right, came to Barcelona and left after 2 years in 2024. So it's nothing new. And I'm giving you guys recent transfers. There's many more that Barcelona had, but these are recent transfers where Barcelona had certain players and they were only here for like 2 seasons and that's it. However, there is one problem, and I want to, because when we talk about like my ideas, I also want to give out my own cons on my ideas because I'm not gonna be so biased here. There is one problem here. Arthur Melo came to Barcelona for 31 million euros. Vidal came to Barcelona for 18 million euros. Firpo came to Barcelona for 18 million euros, and Alonso came in for free. Dani Olmo came in here for 60 million euros or 61 million euros. It was easy for Barcelona to maybe sell Arthur Melo at the same value, the same thing with Vidal, the same thing with Firpo. But it is not easy to sell Dani Olmo at its same value, and especially if this guy is getting injured 3 times every season and not performing well when he's actually on the pitch. That is going to be the only problem that I see with this, right? If we assume that he does not get better, that he does not give Barcelona the value, right? Then Dani Olmo could be sold for less than 60 million euros, and that could be recorded as losses in the Barcelona accounts. Now here's the thing, we have to remember how like this whole accounting thing does work. By the time we get into the summer of 2026, he's only going to be having 4 years of his contract left. There is only 4 years remaining, meaning that between 2024 and 2025, Barcelona have been paying that 60 million euros, and his value was decreasing more and more, but in portions. So all we have to do is divide the 62 million euros, I believe it was around that range, and divide that by the 6 years that he signed up for. Barcelona have been paying 10.3 million euros per season for Dani Olmo, meaning by the time we get into the summer of 2026, his value is only going to be like 41 million euros. So if Barcelona can sell Dani Olmo for maybe 42 million euros, then Barcelona is going to be okay. However, just assume the worst case scenario. If Dani Olmo continues to get injured, does not provide anything, his value might even tank to like 30 million euros. And so even with Dani Olmo being valued at 41 in the club's account, can you imagine if Barcelona selling for 30? That would be like a 11 million euro like recorded loss. It would be really bad. So we have to make sure that by the time we get into that summer of 2026, we get the best out of Olmo. Maybe he might not be the most ideal by the time we get there, but just try and get the best out of him to get the best possible case scenario in terms of his price tag, and maybe reach at the very least minimum of 41 million euros, so we don't have to record any losses. So that is it, right? Like that is going to be the video for today. That is going to be my strategy, how I think about the number 10 position, how I think about Fermín, Gavi, Dani Olmo. It's one huge big play, and Joan Laporta has to play everything correctly because it's very important. We don't want to record any more losses moving forward. I know that, things are not always going to be perfect, but if we have that opportunity to find a good way to like let go of certain players and really strengthen our sporting structure, then let's do that, and let's try very hard to make that happen. So that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.